I'm Salad, Mint Salad, and I saw The Man with the Golden Gun. It is directed by Guy Hamilton, written by Richard Maybaum and Tom Mankiewicz. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This movie's premise is that there's a guy with a golden gun, and he has custom bullets, and it's up to James Bond, find out where the man with the golden gun is, who he is, and where he's getting these custom bullets. There's a lot of shots of James Bond chasing people and also people chasing James Bond. I think my favorite has to be when James Bond notices that this chick, she has the bullet that he's looking for, but it's in her belly button because it's the recoil. It hit the wall. It went through him completely. It went through her fiance, and it hit the wall, and it got crushed, and so she put it in her belly button, and now it's a token of good luck. Well, how James Bond gets it is that he's doing sexy stuff with her, kissing her, whatever, and is like kissing her navel, and then is like about to kiss her navel, like with the belly button, and like put it in her mouth. And then a bunch of these guys come in and he swallows it. He swallows the bullet. I'm like, uh-oh, how is he gonna get that out? And the movie doesn't reveal how he got it out. I guess it's left to your imagination. I think he threw it up. What do you think, chat? How do you think James Bond got that bullet out of him? I also like how James Bond travels to Bangkok in part of his investigation, and he meets a guy. His name is High Fat. High Fat. And get this, he's not that chubby, but he's a little bit chubby. It's hilarious. High Fat, it's Bangkok. It's not English, but you say it in English and it's hilarious. It turns out that the guy with the golden gun, he has 3 nipples, and we know him the entire time. We get to show him talking about what's going on with James Bond and talking about his plans. His name is Scaramanga. He's the guy with 3 nipples, the man with the golden gun, and I really think that he developed a knack for pistols because of the 3rd nipple. He was probably ridiculed. I mean, he was a gun guy. He was doing guns. He was got good at guns at 10. He was professional. He was 15. He's really good. He's so good that he challenges James Bond to a duel at the end, and I think that's pretty cool. I like this part because it's like a high noon duel where they have to put their backs to each other and walk 20 paces, and then they go pow! And guess what? James Bond wins. Who knew that in this James Bond movie, James Bond would win? I like this movie because it's mostly a cat and mouse chase. We already know who done it. I think this is more of a how catch 'em in terms of the genre style, because we have James Bond, he's looking for this guy, he's looking for the bullet. Manufacturer, he goes to the manufacturer, he's looking for the person who shot this bullet, who bought this gun, and by the way, the gun, it's collapsible. It's just like a little gold piece, gold brick, but he takes the parts out and he makes it a gun, and then he goes pow. And I wonder, is that even possible? Could you do that? Is it possible to have a collapsible gun like that and all the functions would still work? There's also a vat of liquid helium. Yeah, he's doing some experiments. He's like, well, I've got to keep this liquid helium really cold because I've got to dip people in liquid helium. I'm sure that's what he does. I'm sure that's what he's doing. Honestly, why else keep liquid helium? Oh, science experiments? Oh, wow, that's a front. There's a sign that says, keep this at absolute 0, and I was like, it's hilarious because absolute 0 is not possible. He said, oh, this is negative 458 degrees Fahrenheit, and I was like, absolute 0 is 459 degrees negative Fahrenheit. Get wrecked. That sign should have said, make sure that liquid helium is as cold as possible, as close to absolute 0 as possible. There's this unit that James Bond is going for, and he steals it, and he did it. Yay! He figured out who the man with the golden gun is, what his motivation is, and now we thwart that. Good old James Bond, you did good. James Bond's body count is insane in this one. He makes out with 2 chicks. By the way, one of the chicks he's making out with, they're interrupted when another chick enters the room, right? And she's underneath the covers and it's dark, and she comes in and she's like, James Bond, you're here. And James Bond convinces her to sleep with him. And he's like, okay, I need some time to prep. And she's like, I need some time to prep. And so he takes the first chick, puts her in the closet, and then the second chick comes out and they start banging. And the first chick is in the closet. And then after all that's done, she's like asleep in the closet. Pulls her out, and she's like, what the heck? Come on. I didn't get to have sex with you, but she did? Ugh, and James Bond is just like, you'll have the chance again someday, sweetie. So he makes out with 2 chicks and has sex with 3 chicks. 5 chicks he's made out with, 3 chicks he's had sex with in this movie. Wow, his game is strong in this one. I can't believe it. This is a fun movie. I like the cat and mouse chase of it all. I feel like some parts of this movie gets a little slow, but then we got the action that happens pretty much a beat or a couple beats after I register, oh, this is getting a little boring, and then bam, something new happens. And I feel like the movie knew that I was going to think this is boring, so it did all the action stuff in that way. I think this movie is a golden time, and it's nice, it's decent, and I don't see any glaring issues with it. It's just a fun time. So I gotta give this movie, it's a solid 7 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another on the platform it likes at $20 Dinos, patreon.com/ASEPresents for 1 movie review for 1 month. Go to his link tree, support the daily grindiness of all them daily movies, so I can go here. And until next time, mint salad sauce, see you later, my sac croutons and bacon bits.